It is National Blood Donation Week across the country, making it the perfect time to talk about donors who literally save lives.
Joining us right now is Mountain Star Healthcare's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Phillip Ross, to explain how you can get involved. Good morning, Dr. Ross. Thanks for coming.
Good morning.
So we've got a month dedicated to donating blood. Why do this? Why have an entire month for this?
You know, blood is nothing shy of a miracle. And it's way more than what you see in Halloween movies. And it is something that, as a donor, doesn't cost you a penny, takes an hour, and will save a life. So I think awareness and understanding what blood is and how to donate blood is essential.
Well, in recent years, there's been a blood shortage. Is that the case right now, and why?
So I think we're in much better shape right now in terms of blood supplies than we were last winter. And last winter, we were in a very uncomfortable situation. I think the reason for the shortages that we were experiencing were that we saw through the pandemic significant drop in donors, but also a significant strain on the process that is behind blood donation. That means collection, testing, processing, and distribution. And that really, I think, that taught Red Cross, in particular, lessons how to manage situation going forward.
And it's not just a Utah need. I assume that there's a need worldwide as well right now. When we're having a challenge here in Utah, I don't think we're the only ones.
No, I mean, the whole world needs blood. I mean, you think about it, in the United States, it's about 7 million people donate blood every year, which is only about 10% of eligible donors. So that you're always going to have a struggle between the need and the donation, the supply. And the problem with blood really is that you cannot store it forever, and the ability to distribute across the world is limited. You know, red blood cells, for instance, are good only in a refrigerator for about a month, where platelets, and they're only 1% of the volume of your blood is platelets, are good only about 3 to 5 days. And so think about it. I mean, they expire very quickly. Where plasma, which is that yellow liquid that red blood cells float in, and it's about 54% of the volume, can be frozen and can be actually stored for up to a year, so that you can send across the country, across the world, to places that are in need.
Well, that at least explains why you can get in a shortage situation so quickly. So let's talk about the donation process and how you figure out whether you're eligible and if you have the time for it.
Yeah, so I think the donation, the way you should look at it is that you want to have it as safe for the donor, the process, and you want to have a safe blood product for the recipients. So safe for the donor means you overall have to be healthy, you have to be at least 16 years of age, and you have to weigh at least 110 pounds, and not to have have an infection or any kind of a significant ongoing active medical problem. Certain things will make you temporarily ineligible to donate blood. For instance, if you're taking antibiotics for infections, you shouldn't donate. If you're taking blood thinning medications, you would have to discuss it with your physician if you are eligible to stop and donate afterwards. But that's a conversation you have to have with your physician. There are certain things that will make you ineligible for a longer period of time. You know, for weeks, for instance, certain vaccination makes you ineligible. But overall, majority of people are eligible, number one. Number two is the process, really. So when you come, first you register, that means you make an appointment, and thank you for doing that. Number two is you start with a very in-depth questionnaire. And the reason for that is that the questions are designed that if you answer them truthfully, about 95% of donors that are ineligible are filtered out. Then you go through a simple physical exam. They test your blood for the content of red blood cells if you're eligible to donate, and then you go through the process of donating, which can take as little as 8 minutes or as much as 45 minutes. Now, once the blood is collected, a sample of that is taken aside and sent for testing. Now, there's about a half a dozen to a dozen tests that are performed that make sure that the blood is safe for the recipients. Now, if that's all checks out, the blood is processed and put into a distribution system for hospitals or individuals that may need it.
And really quickly, is it safe for the donor? Because a lot of people worry about the needles, and a lot of people have fears as well.
Absolutely. I think that, I understand the fear of needles, but the discomfort, the little discomfort that's associated with the insertion of this very sharp needle is nothing compared to the ability to save somebody's life. And you will save somebody's life. I mean, there's a need for blood every day. There's about 36,000 red blood cells unit donated and transfused every day in the United States.
Well,
Think
everybody
about that.
who's alive needs blood, and everybody who's not, I guess, needs formaldehyde. So
Yeah, if you're not alive,
we'll just
yeah.
end on that. All right, thanks
Let's
a lot,
stick to the
Dr.
saving lives. It's a really good thing if you donate blood. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
forget
you
about
don't
the
get
formal
blood,
diet.
you're
Yeah,
going to
that's-
need formaldehyde.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I mean, I think the thing to remember is that it doesn't cost you anything,
Right.
Yeah.
and you will save somebody's life.
That
I
is
think that's
amazing.
super important
Yeah.
to remember.
All right, thanks, Dr. Ross. Appreciate it.
An important topic.